Hello and welcome to Bags of Action. My name is Pete and this is a 5-minute Bags of Action review of The Man from Toronto from 2022. The world's deadliest assassin and New York's biggest screw-up are mistaken for each other at an Airbnb rental. As you can probably tell, this is an action comedy. It was directed by Patrick Hughes, who made his name directing Red Hill and went on to make Expendables 3, The Hitman's Bodyguard and The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. It was written by Robbie Fox, who most recently wrote Granddaddy Daycare and many years ago wrote So I Married an Axe Murderer. Also co-written by Chris Bremner, who wrote Bad Boys for Life. And it was from a story by Jason Blumenthal, who is usually a producer, but who had the story credit for the film Biodome. Don't know if you remember that one. It stars Hollywood heavyweights Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson. Hart is the screw-up. Harrelson is the assassin. It also stars Ellen Barkin from things like Sea of Love, Jasmine Matthews from The Tomorrow War and Heathers, and Pearson Ford from TV shows Animal Kingdom and Supergirl. Now, Kevin Hart has more range than some people give him credit for. I hadn't actually realised quite how much I've seen him in. Now, in things like the TV series True Story, and in films like Fatherhood, The Upside, and to a lesser extent the Jumanji movies, he's broadened what he usually does. But in this film, he returns to his usual shtick, that wide-eyed innocent stuck in an adventure he can't control. This has been done to death in his previous movies, and it felt like a step back, him doing essentially the same carbon copy role here. Now, the start of this movie is interesting, and the idea of this deadly assassin is a good one, and it feels nice and dark, but then once the two of them meet, this turns into Fisher-Price's My First Buddy movie. To be honest, I groaned from about 10 minutes in until the end of this movie, and my wife gave up on it completely with 35 minutes still to go. The Man from Toronto is like a film written by AI based on lots of much better films. Now, there is one saving grace from an action perspective. There is one long, well-executed fight scene that is well worth watching, but that's so near the end that you have to sit through a lot of terribly contrived scenes to get there. This wants to have the humour of something like Red, but it's more like Killing Gunter. This is some way off the Lethal Weapons, 48 Hours, Midnight Runs, and even Bulletproofs of this world. Director Hughes did a good turn in Bodyguard's Hitman, pitching two big-name actors in a low-budget action comedy, but that formula has become very tired very quickly. The film's sequel was poor, and I think this might be even worse. This is a poor man's Rush Hour, and Hughes is his generation's Brett Ratner clone, although possibly not as good. Now, I don't think I've ever actually seen a Woody Harrelson film I didn't like, or certainly haven't seen him in a truly bad movie. Well, until now. And of all the Fisher out of water Kevin Hart movies like, Central Intelligence and Ride Along, this is very much the bottom of the barrel. This is a film for people whose sense of humour is flawed and whose attention span only stretches to memes. The world building it does just creates something annoying and even more unfunny. Personally, I long for the days when they make good action movies, rather than these series of bad sketches woven into a film. Essentially, these are comedies these days with a smattering of action, and that balance just doesn't work for me. I think everyone associated with this movie should be a little bit ashamed. And if I see Patrick Hughes' name on another film, I'm going to run a mile in the opposite direction. Having said that, I've just seen he's been announced as the new director on the pointless US remake of The Raid, replacing Joe Carnahan, and I can't even imagine what that will be like. So with all that considered, I'm going to give The Man from Toronto a generous 1 bag of action out of 5, and that 1 bag is for the fight scene near the end. Maybe that's on YouTube and you can spare yourself a few hours of your life. Have you seen The Man from Toronto? Do you disagree with me? Maybe you liked it. Let us know. Feel free to comment below or get in touch with us on email, Facebook, or on Twitter. We have new episodes coming out regularly alongside our full-length podcast. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to get notifications. Bags of Action will always be free, but if you'd like to buy us a coffee, you can do that at our Ko-fi page.